Welcome everybody back to another Bullcast reaction. I'm Carson.
I'm Lindsay.
And this is Naruto episode 125. What happened last episode?
Last episode, we got an epic fight with Rock Lee, my favorite character. Back at it, but drunk. And that was really entertaining. That was a really great fight. And then at the very end there, Garra did what Rock Lee probably just almost died for a second there when Garra caressed him with the sand
and pulled him out of danger.
He's saving him, but I can only imagine that would have been the most terrifying moment of his life.
Yeah. Once again being enveloped by sand.
As soon as he has a new lease on life, he is fixed. He can fight again, and then the sand just comes for him. But apparently Garra and friends are here to help.
Indeed.
And we'll see how he's changed and why they decided to come and be allies to the Leaf Village all of a sudden.
Alrighty, hope you guys enjoy this reaction and review to Naruto. Once again, I've seen Naruto. Lindsay has not seen Naruto. And we hope you enjoy the reaction. Support the official release. Check us out on Patreon. Patreon.com/Bullcast, where you can get a week ahead on this show and many others. We hope you like and subscribe on this video. It helps us out. And this is not a market substitute. Support the official release. Watch on Crunchyroll. Watch on Netflix. We assume you already have seen the show. This is not a free place to watch it. This is a place to watch our reaction, our review, where we give our thoughts on the episodes that we watch. This is not a free alternative to watching on legal platforms. Support the official release. Let's go. Oh, shit. New.
That's awesome. Oh, shit.
Oh, shit. That was fucking sick.
That was really cool.
Such an incredible opening. Oh shit! Horror movie time. Wait, or flashback time.
What the hell? Who are you?
I love how Shikamaru gets saved by another girl character.
Yeah.
He always has to fight girls, but now he's being saved by a girl as well. Right, I don't know.
Who are you?
Allies of the Leaf Village.
Where's Shinobi? The sand.
Okay.
Shit, the fucking spoilery titles every time.
It would have been a spoiler if they named the last one that.
Yeah, that would have sucked ass.
Sand ninja? Am I still drunk or something?
Don't you recognize him? I mean, he has a different outfit, but.
He is Garra of the sand. Garra. Is that what they call you? Digital shrapnel!
I wonder how he's gonna block it.
Ew.
That's so fucking gross. Oh shit.
Bloop. They look like little chess pieces almost.
Yeah, they do.
Fired the bones from his fingertips?
Lots of new tracks in this arc.
They're different. Anyway, why have you come here? I owe the leaf. I owe the leaf a great debt. I had heard something about how our village had finally made up with you traitors, but I didn't expect you to change sides so quickly.
It's not like we just attacked the Leaf Village for kicks, you know. We were following orders. That's all. Just like we're doing on this mission.
Get it? The 5th Hokage sent them. She saved our butts.
By the way, you seem a lot dumber than the last time our paths crossed.
They literally just show up and insult. And they're like, we're saving you. But it comes at a price of your pride.
But I'm not real man doesn't let a woman do his fighting for him.
Fuck off.
Still being all macho with the man and woman stuff? You talk tough, but I know it's just an act, idiot.
If I had waited a few more minutes, that woman would have kicked your ass.
Cyclone Sight Jutsu!
Cyclone instead of wind scythe.
Chop that bitch in half. Oh.
That girl was born to fight me.
More like she was written to fight me.
Hey, wait a second.
He has two now?
The other two went on ahead because you guys couldn't hack it. Listen, moron. These enemies aren't exactly lightweights. It's no use. I can't move. He's about to try and enter your body and combine with it.
It's too late.
It's not him.
I can't believe it. What's the matter, Sakon?
Same old tricks.
It's a lot of sand.
I guess that jutsu of yours doesn't really work on puppets, does it? This one's a puppet too? Fair warning. We sand ninja aren't pushovers, like our friends from the Leaf. Oh, and standing as close as you are to my friend the Black Ant?
The Black Ant.
Yikes.
Big mistake. I hated going up against the Sand Ninja as enemies, but as allies, they're pretty amazing.
True. Is this song new?
I don't recognize half the songs.
Oh, that one is creepy looking.
Now I kind of recognize it.
You take over, brother. Let me rest at this body a little bit first. It'll take more than this toy to stop me.
I feel like it won't. But, okay.
I healed my stomach wound. I don't have much chocolate.
Were you telling us? Were you telling him?
That is a pretty impressive ability, though.
I can't back down when they show me no respect.
I hate that sound. It's so creepy.
Yeah.
It's like a little bug.
Not quite. My Black Ant puppet isn't designed to be used on offense. Its usual function is trapping people. But when the Black Ant is paired with the Crow, it makes a deadly attack combination.
Oh my god!
Puppet masters aren't nothing to be fucked with.
Let's have a puppet show.
Let you out or you'll kill us? Well, I think if I let you out, you will. Yikes.
You talked over it, but that attack's called the Iron Maiden.
Mm.
Pretty cool.
Show's over.
Since I'm new to this fight, maybe it'd be a good idea for you to explain the situation to me. Give me an analysis of her skills and battle style.
Well, first off, her flute casts genjutsu. She uses it to ensnare her opponents, and when they can't move, she delivers a lethal attack.
It's interesting because that wasn't even her main attack.
Yeah.
She did that for like 30 seconds.
And he got out of it pretty quick.
I can't move.
Die, little rat!
She's a typical long-range genjutsu style shinobi.
I forgot she said
Most
rat
likely,
to everything.
As soon as she saw your jutsu, she realized it could counteract her own. That's why she retreated. Besides, it's 2 against 1 now. I doubt she'll show herself again until she's able to cast her genjutsu.
So it's sound.
That's right. Genjutsus work by affecting one of the 5 senses: sight, hearing, smell, taste, and touch. Listen, sooner or later she's gonna get us cornered, and that'll be that. I think we should withdraw until we...
Excuse me, did I ask for your opinion?
What?
I told you to explain the situation to me, that's all. You have no idea what kind of powers I have. If she thinks she can hide from me, but stay close enough so the sound of her flute can still reach me, she's mistaken. All right. Summoning breakdance!
Whoa!
You like it?
What is he like a little weasel?
Yeah, or a ferret or something.
Using a scythe like a broom?
Yeah.
Also, I thought her flute got chopped in half. Maybe she had to back up.
She's really getting swept away.
Oh my god! If she is still fine after this, I will be very impressed at her ability to not get sliced. Damn, she should go into the logging industry.
Yeah, 100%. Wow. What a way to go.
Damn, and she didn't even get sliced. She just got crushed.
Is she actually dead?
How was that? It's finished.
Okay.
She doesn't mess around, huh? She's as subtle as a rhino. She might even be scarier than my mom.
Pretty good, huh?
Oh well.
Damn. So it's not common we see like a straight up dead body in Naruto.
Yeah.
Not like that. Like its face and everything, you know?
Maybe they could do it because there wasn't really any blood.
Yeah, maybe. And they didn't say she's dead.
Yeah.
That's the other thing. Oh, that's the end of the episode. Damn.
That just seems like it's 5 minutes long.
So what'd you think of that one?
That was a good episode.
Thank God, 2 out of 3 of the final 2 of the Sound 4 are finally fucking dead. For the love of God, no more. The only cool one is still alive, and he's fighting the other cool one.
Yeah.
The other 2 cool ones. Oh, I spit everywhere.
Yeah, you did. That's disgusting.
Sorry about that. But this is an episode for celebration.
I agree to that. I feel I enjoyed this a million times more that it wasn't just the same shit that we've been seeing for the past I don't know how many episodes. It's just been following a very similar formula of like a side character from the Leaf Village versus one of the Sound 4.
Mm-hmm.
And the Choji fight I really caught me off guard. And then since then it's just kind of been the same kind of it's been like different, and some things were more interesting than others.
Yeah.
But it was just kind of the same. Oh, there was like a 3-episode fight, and then it's like, oh, we're gonna intercut the fights, but none of them are really that engaging. So you're just intercutting fights that I don't really care too much about.
And for long periods of time, like if this was a well-paced show, then that tactic might have worked. But it would have, like, say instead of doing one fight after the other, and then reaching a point where you're doing all fights at the same time, what if you just did it from the start of all fights at the same time, and then, like, it, you know, all the conclusions happen at the same time, all, like, what, you know, whatever. Choji and Neji die, and then fucking...
No, I think it was better with those two, because
Okay.
they were way earlier.
Yeah, maybe you're right. I don't know. Yeah.
And, like, because those fights were not going on at the same time as these fights. Those fights finished hours ago, and then
True.
these fights all started at the same time, pretty much.
That's true.
So that's, I think, why. But they weren't some of the most engaging fights I've seen. Therefore, now that there's... And the only reason that they became exciting this episode and the cutting between them worked is because there were new characters in the mix that actually, like, you kind of knew it was going to get resolved.
It wasn't even really all the fights. It was mostly, like, if you think back to all of them, like, you weren't as impacted by the Neji fight, but it was like, kind of slow.
Yeah.
But it was a good fight. There was, like, it was really tactical. It was really cool uses of abilities. The Choji fight had high emotional stakes and resonance. The Shikamaru fight had a lot more insight into what Shikamaru's thinking about in this whole thing, and that's kind of cool. And his whole, like, he talked about being a leader and shit like that. It was really, but it was really the fucking Kiba fight because of, and it wasn't even necessarily the fight. Even it was
the flashback.
The flashback and like, it was just it, and the fact that Kiba, I don't know, it's I don't know, and it's just the villains. Really, it's not even necessarily even the fights. It's just the fucking Sound 4 are just so bad, most of them. The only one that I think I really actually liked watching was Kidomaru, personally, with the bow and shit. Because it was actually threatening and really, of the 4, he was the most intimidating and powerful.
He didn't seem as cocky. He seemed more like,
he was way more cautious.
I'm going to get the job done properly.
Yeah. And
not like,
he was,
oh, I'll kill you, you rat.
Yeah, and he wasn't duped for being dumb. It's Neji, like, outsmarted him. It's just a shame that the fight, like, had a few slow moments and was spread so thin. Because if that was, like, that's... And some of the fight was actually great. I think it might have just been also the time we were watching, maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
And we stopped also halfway through. That was part of it, too. Good. But, like, I can forgive a lot of it. Seeing it again, I can't tell if I liked it more or less than the first time I watched it, because I remember the Sakon and the Naruto Kimimaro fight, because Naruto and Kimimaro, that fight was kind of dumb as well, because it was dragged out so long.
It seemed like that fight was literally just a placeholder till Rock Lee got there.
Yeah.
And it was just, like, hyping up the whole, like, bones thing.
Yes.
So that was already established. And then Naruto could leave, go do what he was actually supposed to be doing. And then Rock Lee could have the fight that he was supposed to have.
And to be fair, we don't even know how long that fight actually took in the manga, because it seems like they stretched out the same scene and repeated it, animated it slightly different.
The clones
and, like, looking befuddled, like, terrified at all the clothes exploding.
He defeated my clones again. He made, like, I don't know how many...
Hundreds of
clones. And... they all just died, like, 2 by 2, and he was surprised every time.
Yeah. But, that's not even... I can't even count that against the story, because it seems like it was maybe one or two waves of Naruto trying to fight, coming up with a different strategy, that not working. Trying to use a different attack, that not working, maybe once or twice. And then Rock Lee probably showed up. That's how... So it would have been a lot quicker, but because they were intercutting the fights... it fucked it up a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, I would have actually... I mean,
but then once Lee got there, it was dope.
Yeah, once Lee got there, it was awesome. But I mean, it's kind of worth talking about, like, this set of episodes now, because now that the Sand Village is here, it's gonna throw off that dynamic, and it's gonna be a little bit different. But I don't know. I did like the intercutting episodes. But it wasn't the best execution of intercutting I have seen.
It was just too many episodes.
It just went on for too long. I would have preferred maybe, like, 1 episode for Shikamaru, 1 episode for Kiba, and then an episode, then start intercutting to get, like, the bulk out of it, because I felt like the sections were very long, and then it was just, like, Kiba fighting for, like, 7 minutes, Shikamaru fighting for, like, 7 minutes, and then Naruto fucking around for a couple minutes, and then, you know.
And I think people think it's nitpicky because it's just, like, and we talk about this too much, but it's just, people think we're really nitpicking because we're talking about all these details, and it's talking really negatively, but that's not, it's not coming from a place of hatred, and it's not coming from a place of, like, really taking it seriously, necessarily. This is just our basic opinion, and it's coming from a place of love because we do like the story. It's just that it takes 1 episode too long to do a lot of stuff. That's a big problem with this show. is that
Yeah.
it stretches it, and I know it's necessary. I get it. I 100% get it. And I know it's not a fault of the story or the writing. It's a fault of the production and, like, the time that this was made. I 100% get it. But I'm not going to, like, not talk about it because of that. Just shortly, like, if it's just that they stretch things out just one episode too long every time. And it's like, that might not seem like enough because you could just skip to the next episode or press or fast forward through the flashbacks or whatever. But it's just, it gets grating when something could be so good, but they just stretch it out over 20 minutes too long.
The main problem is, it's not that it's not good, it's that it's really good, but they're not letting it be really good because they're intercutting it with these horrible flashbacks that are meaningless and take up like half of the show is the recap and the flashbacks. And I know that that's just like, everyone accepts Naruto for being that, and I'm okay with it, but sometimes it just is disappointing.
Yeah.
You know?
That's what it is. It's not even that we're pissed off that it's bad or we think that it's not good. It's just super... It's like, you can... I've been saying since the beginning, you can see how good it can be.
Which is why, I think, especially for a lot of you guys watching, and even myself remembering previous stuff, I remember it as being way cooler than it probably actually was, because your brain automatically takes out. Your brain does, like, if you were remembering the fucking, you know...
Tuning exams.
Yeah, if you're remembering the tuning exams, you wouldn't remember all the times that it did a flashback or a recap of something that happened literally 5 minutes previously.
Yeah.
Your brain doesn't remember it like that because that's not how it actually was.
You would think
and
of,
how
like,
it should have been.
The exam, if you'd spend enough time looking back, because it's recorded and we talked about it so much, but looking back at the tuning exams, I remember, oh shit, they had that test, and then they went into the Forest of Death, and then they were, like, surviving for a while. That was crazy. They didn't know who was who. They thought they were being infiltrated. Fought Orochimaru, got wounded, made it to the tower, met Kabuto, and, like, really struggled to get there. Then the fight started. When really, if you break down everything that happened in between, so much, like, that was an accurate breakdown, relatively speaking, of, like, the good parts of the Chunin exams, some of them. But, like, the exam took many episodes to do, but I don't remember all the bullshit as to do with the exam. I remember the exam being really cool, you know?
Yeah, and, like, if we're talking about the Chunin exam, like, fights, the Naruto versus Kiba fight went on for many episodes.
It went on for 2 or 3.
Like 2 to 3 episodes, but even that was way too long.
I think only 2.
Yeah, maybe 2, but either way, it didn't need to be that long.
No.
But when you remember it, the only reason that I remember it as being so bad is because I specifically remember that it took that long, but I'm sure a bunch of the other fights were like that as well.
They
took too long, but I just don't remember.
Because the animation wasn't that bad. That was the worst.
That one was really bad.
That was the worst fight. Or some people say Ino versus Sakura, but I don't think so, because
at least
although
that was kind of interesting.
It was interesting, and it was kind of dumb. There was a lot. It was really convenient, but that, like, they both knocked each other out.
Yeah, I didn't like the way that fight ended, but I don't think it was a bad fight.
It was good enough because we got more insight into Ino and Sakura's relationship, and they viewed each other as equals, and that was low level, and there weren't crazy effects. At least it was emotionally resonant. Naruto versus Kiba wasn't emotionally resonant. Kiba versus Sakon, they were really close, but just the presentation in the anime was just, God, it was so bad. The way, like, people in the comments were like, God, stop complaining about it. God, it is so bad. Like, you guys need to just shut up and watch the show. It's like, bro, we edit things down so much. Go back and watch that fight right now. Go to Netflix. I forget what episode it is. You can find the episode on our channel. Go back and watch start to finish the Kiba versus Sakon fight, and like, and then try to talk about it for 10 minutes after each episode. Then tell us that, like, it was an action-packed thrill ride that should be remembered for its greatness of storytelling and animation. It does, and just because we're shitting on that doesn't mean that we fucking hate the show. It's because we love the show that we talk about it so much. We really enjoy the show, even though we don't explode with excitement every time Kiba does a fang over fang jutsu against a fucking mud wall when Choji's standing right there. Like, we can shit on it and have a good time. That doesn't mean that we don't like it. And shitting on it's part of the fun, because to be 100% honest, when it's really bad, it's part of the fun. But that also means we also really like when it does good stuff too.
Yeah, like the Rock Lee fight was my favorite thing most recently, and that was also the best thing most recently.
And although we, like, don't think as highly of Sasuke as I did when I first watched it, for sure. I thought Sasuke was so fucking cool when we first watched it. And a lot of you guys out there seem to really, really love Sasuke and always defend him in the comments. Just because we, like, make him out, we think of him in a more negative light than you guys do, doesn't mean that we don't like when he's on screen. The whole stuff with Sasuke and Naruto on the roof was crazy. And, like, the whole emotional shit.
We had so much to talk about during that.
Yeah, like, we went on, both of us went on, like, a 5 to 10 minute rant about Naruto walking through the alleyway past Jiraiya, and them sharing that glance.
And then how different that was with Kakashi and Sasuke, and, like, just the student-teacher relationship of, like, how Jiraiya knows Naruto is like him, and Kakashi thinks that Sasuke is like him, but he's kind of not. He's different.
Yeah.
I just broke my nail.
Oh. All that to say, like, we wouldn't talk about that if we didn't talk about, like, when we're so disappointed or frustrated or, like shaking with anticipation to get back to the good shit every time something dumb happens. Like, you can't have one without the other, basically. The reason we have conversations in either direction is because we actually care about what's going on. We like talking about it. So for all those because we've had a string of, like, ranty episodes just get published to YouTube, and people are getting, like, kind of pissed off and think that we don't like the show. So that's why we're talking about this.
If we didn't like it, we wouldn't watch it.
100%. And if we didn't like,
I'll say that right now. The show is way too long to watch it if you don't want to watch it.
100%. And we wouldn't talk about it this much if we didn't like. Anyway, I think that's enough for this episode.
Yeah.
I'm just glad the Sound 4 are finally fucking dead, and we're about to see.
I didn't even get to talk about the episode that much.
Go ahead. You can. Yeah, you can talk about the episode.
Yeah, I'm really glad that the Sound 4 have finally met their demise. I'm really glad, as I'm really interested in as well in the whole, like, where we're gonna go from here. Is Garra? Are they just part of the team now? Are they coming along for the ride? Like, I don't know. I feel like I'm just really happy that the Sound 4, and then I'm assuming the Garra fight is probably going to happen next, maybe simultaneously with a Naruto versus Sasuke or something, but I'm just excited that it feels like we're finally able to progress.
100%. We just got out of the sanctuary, boys.
I feel true. I feel like this is way more satisfying than that would ever be. I'm going to say right now. But I just feel like we can finally move forward and, like, get back to the story, not just be hung up on fight after fight after fight. Especially when the fights aren't really exploring the characters too much.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to see this fight with Garra, because we'll see how much Garra has changed, maybe. Rock Lee's right there. They've already sort of talked. So I'm sure we'll see a little bit more. When Garra's in a fight, does he still turn into, like, super bloodthirsty? Or is he just fighting to, like, do the mission of get rid of this guy, you know? And then as well, we can finally move on back to fucking Sasuke and Naruto, which was the point of this entire arc, was to go find Sasuke.
Yeah.
And he's been in a box the entire time. And it's nice that seemingly, now that the Sound 4 are out of the way, we can, like, actually put some focus on there relatively soon. And whatever happens with that doesn't matter. It just matters that we can actually, like, get to that point, you know?
Exactly. And we hope that you get to that point with us in the next episode of Naruto. You can get a week ahead on Patreon, like I said at the start, or you can just subscribe and like the video if you want to see more. And stay tuned for the next episode of Naruto, which we're going to get to right now. I'm Carson.
I'm Lindsay.
And I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye. And thank you to all of our patrons, especially those in the Student Council: Zenge,
John Ortega,
Aurora,
Lewis,
Chris Janve,
Nelson Barbosa,
Kage Uzumaki,
Dreadful XR,
Brian,
Handicap Bonkai,
D23L,
Charles Liu,
Brian,
Michael Wells,
King Mr. Mew,
Rifleman Z51,
Brandon Bruce,
Sallow,
Mord Tarragon,
Alfonso Renozo,
Josh Carey Gray,
Jordan Angu,
Lolly Convict,
Takamasa Baba,
Vanity,
Redacted,
Josue Gonzalez,
Zachary Pora.
Mohammed Buran Ahmed. Thank you guys so much, and we'll see you in the next one.